Hi, my name is Chiara Falabella and I'm 16 years old. And here's what's been going on with me. In 2020, the closest thing to me was my cat, Cosmo, and he died. Christmas, 7 p.m. 2020. After that, I started getting more sad and I didn't understand what it was. And then, last year, February 18th, 2024, when my grandmom died, I realized I had depression. I thought I did before that, but I wasn't sure. So after I attended her service, February 26th,
Yeah.
20.
I feel Chiara should put your bike away. She used it last. You didn't do it yesterday and should have, but she used it last. However, I don't know if she's going to, so if you don't want your bike stolen or ruined, you should put it away. Okay, and your helmet. Especially with the stuff I told you about. I didn't get so Dante yet, but Dante, in our neighborhood Facebook group, there's people posting that people are coming up to the doors, knocking on it and asking to open the door, and they try turning the handle. So make sure you don't open the door for anyone. I know you don't normally, but I'm just telling you, that's been going on the last couple days. So I would not be leaving that out there if you don't want it missing.
Anyway, that was my mother. In March, I met a guy named Brandon Smith. I had a crush on him on and off in middle school, even last year, 10th grade, sophomore year. So, he texted me, and I'm like, what do you want? Because before he texted me, I was friends with this girl named Destiny Michael, and they were bullying her, and I don't tolerate bullying with my friends, so I wasn't okay with that. So when I found out, because I saw them doing it, I walked up to them with my friend, and I'm like, that's not okay. You don't have a right to bully my friend because she's not the same weight as you. That's not right. So I talked to him in his friend group, and they're like, you're a pussy. You won't fight us. I'm like, do you really want to bet? This guy, Brayden, and his other friends were like, they were all just like, I'm like, do we understand each other? And they're like, yes. They all got called down later that day for bullying. And security kept an eye on them for now. So then he texts me. I'm like, what do you want? Because I didn't like that he was bullying my friend. And he's like, why do you have an attitude or whatever? And then I just realized when we got to know each other a little more, we both have our problems. He just broke up with his ex. And so he's adding everyone from the Snapchat school. Just a thing, story thing. So, yeah. So, we started talking. 3 weeks later, we started dating. It's now my boyfriend. When we started dating, he was 16, and I was 15, and now I'm 16, he's 17. Our anniversary's in a couple weeks, and a couple of days after we started dating, I hear my parents arguing. I'm like, what's going on? And then I see my dad packing his things. I'm like, where are you going? He's like, sweetheart, me and your mother can't do this anymore. We're getting a divorce. I'm like, well, why? Even if you guys divorced, you've been paying for almost everything here. I mean, my mom was mad about that. Hi, Gia. That's my twin sister. But, and then he tells me my mom made him leave, and I'm like, what the hell? Anyway, so they filed for divorce, split custody.
Very sad.
And after that, even now, it's been almost a year. The divorce isn't finalized, but I'm still splitting custody with each. This week I'm at my mom's, next week I'll be at my dad's. You get the point. So then, yeah. So I'm being depressed, going to junior year. This is like September. The school, I told them about a time. It was the day after Cosmo, my cat, died. So, December 26, 2020, I tried to kill myself. I told them about that, and then June 1st, the day after I turned 16, about me trying to kill myself then too. Now I can't get my driver's permit, but they were like, if you are still trying to kill yourself, we're sending you somewhere. I'm like, but I don't want to kill myself now. So why are you trying to send me somewhere? Like a mental hospital. And they're like, because we think you're a risk at our school. We think you're either going to hurt others or kill yourself. And we don't want anyone to blame us for that. Our reputation. I'm like, you're concerned about your reputation versus ruining somebody's mental health. Because mental hospitals, I have friends who have gone there. They don't help anyone. No one. So, September 11th. You get why I made that face. Because 9/11. What a coincidence. That was the day. And they're like, you can do a 201 or 302. I'm like, what's the difference? Because I didn't know at the time. 201 is where you go to a mental hospital voluntarily. A 302 is where they force you to go. And I was in a bad mood already, so I'm like, hell no, I'm not going. You can't just force me to go because you think I'm mentally ill. And they're like, yes, we can. Since you're in school and we're talking about this, there's 10 minutes left till the bell rung. But, so when the bell rung, I left, but they already filed a 302. Got police down there at the school. And I'm like, I'm going home. So I put myself by my dad's car. And I see Deputy Landis, which is one of our school's security officers and stuff. He's the deputy of our school. And I'm like, my dad's like, just stop running and then we can leave. I'm like, no, I don't like it when people follow me. I just don't like it. It creeps me out. So I just kept speed walking, and by the time I looped around the school, 3 cop cars. I locked myself in my dad's car with my boyfriend and my dad. And this female was talking very nicely to me, and she's like, why don't you just step out of the car so we can talk? I'm like, we can talk here. She's like, okay. And she's like, what's going on? I told her the situation. She looked at the school like weirdly, because like that's not what they told her. But she's like, well, by now they already filed it. We already got everything ready at the hospital, so you have to go now. I'm like, for what reason? And they're like, school said you tried to kill yourself. I'm like, no. I told them I was talking about times I have in the past, and they're like, still, you have to go. I said, no. My dad unlocked the car, of course, because. So they're pulling me out of the car. Deputy Landis, my school deputy, he's taking my pants off in front of the whole school. They handcuffed and all my legs. So they buckled me up in the police car. I unbuckled before we even leave. And I'm thinking about, I'm trying to open the door. I'm begging. I'm in a bad mood right now. By then, right? I can't help it. So we arrived at my school, CB West High School. So it's in Doylestown. So we arrived at the Doylestown Hospital, which is right there. They put me in a wheelchair. I thought about escaping, but I know I can't run in these handcuffs and stuff, even if I wanted to. Plus, they would probably place me on arrest for resisting it or whatever. I don't know. They could do that, but I'm not sure if they would. So I arrived in the crisis center. I'm sobbing. They handcuffed me. They threatened to sedate me. Like, what's going on in your mind? Why do you want to get rid of me that bad? So yeah, I spent 12 days at Brooklyn. It's not Brooklyn, the play, like, New York, whatever. It's, like, a mental hospital. They try to give me blood work. But I can't do blood work. I hate needles. I'll pass out, like, on and off with needles and blood work. So I'm like, no. I'm not risking my health and a potential, like, attack. Like, not, like, attack, like, in my heart or whatever. Or panic attack. Because you want to do something to make sure I'm healthy when I already know I'm healthy. So they put me on Lexapro. It's an antidepressant. By the time I left after the 12 days, I was more depressed. I couldn't feel any emotion while I was on Lexapro, and I was more mad. So when I got out, I saw my boyfriend, and I was like, by the time I got home, because my parents, I asked them one thing while I was there. Excuse me. Thank you. And all I asked was, please bring Brayden with you since school will be over by the time you pick me up. They didn't even bring him. Like, are you joking? Like, that actually made me really mad. So, when I got out, I was mad for the first 2 weeks or something. I couldn't even feel love for my boyfriend. And that's a hard thing to make me do. Like, I non-stop love him.
Very hard. Very hard. And it's cuddly.
So now we're gonna skip a little bit. Christmas 2024. So, Christmas 2024. 4 years since my cat died. And my mom just bought the gravestone, and it was only because I asked for it. That's so. I did the honors and I put it where we buried him in our backyard, and I was like, it made me happy. Really happy. Because my mom could buy a gravestone for her cat when she died, but the one that they found on the street before I was even born, they couldn't have done that. Like, that's sad in my opinion. So now we're gonna skip to January, like 14th, 18th. I was mad that day about something with my parents, other stuff. And my friend tells me I can't come to school today. I'm like, why? And she's like, I slipped on ice really hard and Destiny laughed at. Oh my god, I skipped something. Okay, sorry guys. In October 2024, the friend that I defended in Destiny, we were barely friends at this point, but she was with a girl I don't like named, well, I don't have feelings
I can't believe
for her.
you skipped that part, bro.
Yeah, I know.
That was like one of
Because
the
I was
worst
trying to
parts in
focus.
history.
I know, I was trying to focus mainly on what's going on now.
Can I cut your hair?
No.
Oh.
But Haley Worthington, she's in my grade. Destiny also, she's supposed to graduate last year. Like, she shouldn't be here, but she is. So, she's like, you won't say anything to her face, daring me. Like, I know it's a trap, but like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm gonna stand up for myself. Like, I'm not just gonna let you bully, insult me and stuff. So, I go over. It was a football game at Penn Ridge. And she's like, this Haley girl's getting all up in my face. Like, what's your problem with me, huh? Like, she's practically...
You want the photo?
No. I don't want to put photos on here because then I just stop.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's needed, I will. So she got up in my face and what's your problem with me, huh? Tell me. And I literally said, please back up. I'm trying.
Cheer game. I remember.
I'm trying to tell you. And I'm saying it like how I'm saying that now, like calm manner. I was like, I'm trying to tell you, but if you keep talking over me and getting in my face, I won't be able to tell you. So she continues, and my boyfriend's there. And he's like, steps in the middle of us. He's like, let's all calm down. And indicating Haley, because I was calm. She's like, to my boyfriend, get on my face or I'm going to slap you. I'm like, don't slap him because he's trying to calm you down. That's immature and just rude. So, she slaps him. I'm like, and I push her like, I'm like, okay. I push her like very lightly, like, hey, you don't have the right to touch my boyfriend because he was trying to calm me down. And apparently, I pushed her so hard when I know I didn't. Like, I'm a very honest person. I will admit if I push someone really hard or anything. So she threw hot chocolate on me. It burnt. It hurt because it was hot chocolate. And it got my boyfriend a little bit, but mainly me. I have, on one of my bras, I have it there, like stained there. So like, there's no point in lying about it. And she was trying to pull something out of her pocket, and it looked in the shape of a knife. And my boyfriend, he doesn't like that type of stuff. So he just, like, lightly put her arm like this, like that, just a little faster. When the officers from the game came over, one officer was with Destiny and Haley, one officer was me and my boyfriend. My boyfriend explained everything and stuff. And I felt so bad, because, like, what happens after this? I feel like it's my fault. So after this, Haley and Brayden are both given citations. And I was like to the officer, why are you giving him a citation? I was the one who went over there. And she's like, because she's the one who did physical contact. They got charged, both of them got charged for harassment. Like the hell? No, he shouldn't have got charged for harassment. He didn't. He touched her in self-defense. He thought she was gonna stab me. And wanna know what she says to him? And I only know this because I didn't stop talking to Destiny at the time yet. Which I know, she's toxic. I get the point. They drew makeup on Haley's face and said, he slapped me and dislocated my arm. The only way I'm going home is in an ambulance. She wore a sling from October to January. 2 months.
Bitch, you could just pop that thing back.
2 months. And then my sister had her in one of her classes and she's braiding her hair without the sling on.
Kiara.
But it's not dislocated, right?
For sure. It was ceramics.
Yeah.
No, but Kiara. What was it? I literally found, I forget what place. It was like that giant Acme or whatever. I found the exact thing she used.
Yeah, no, like you can buy a sling. And then she kept switching it. Oh, I broke my arm. Oh, I dislocated. If you broke it, it would be in a cast. I mean, like, and where he didn't even grab her hand. It was her shoulder. It was more of her shoulder than her arm.
One of the days, you and Brayden weren't here this day, I remember. But she switched, like, to her other arm. I was like, what?
Yeah, so...
Like, bro, what?
That happened. So, my boyfriend pled not guilty. Haley pled guilty, even though she said to everyone she wasn't guilty. He actually did this to me. But no. So she paid $500. My boyfriend paid $50 for not guilty. No. I'm busy. Yeah, I'm busy, though. And he got the $50 back because he was not guilty. So back to January, I sent a threat to this Destiny girl, and I forgot she had a class with my friend. So my friend who's reading the threat text, it was that threat. So she's like, screenshot, sent it to security guidance principal. I get 5 days suspension. I'm like, so I understand what you're doing. You don't want me to kill her, but it was just out of anger. I didn't actually mean it. They didn't care. They gave me a citation, forced therapy. Because apparently I would kill everyone according to them. So I do the 5 days suspension. I'm like, okay. When I come back for the next week, they're like, we're actually making a 10-day suspension because we don't think you're ready to come back yet. I'm like, are you serious? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, I understand. I leave. 10-day suspension. And they're like, oh, she's not allowed to come back until she gets evaluated. I'm like, okay, I'll go to the last place I was evaluated to get back to school after the mental hospital in September. They didn't tell me it was a crisis evaluation. I already knew I was done. I already knew they were going to convince the crisis. I was going to go to another mental hospital. I'm like, shit. My dad didn't know, but I did. I'm like, Dad, I know I'm not going to see you because I'm going to get sent. And he's like, no, you're not. So I do evaluation. the school convinced them I'm crazy and everything. So I get sent to a new place called Tower. My dad was sobbing on the phone with my boyfriend because he didn't know. I felt actually bad for him. So I go to Tower for 8 days. I'm just like, I didn't want to do a 3 or 2 because that means I could have been there longer too. So, there for 8 days. While I'm in there, 2 fights.
Only 2?
Technically 3. 2 while I was there, 3 when I left. And a rapist. I don't know why I'm smiling. That was sarcastic, guys. Obviously.
Why would you smile like that? What's wrong with you?
It was sarcastic. Sarcasm. So when I got out, I'm like, if they don't let me go back, I'm gonna lose it. When I get out, my boyfriend, sister, mother, and father is there. I go straight to my boyfriend. I love him to death. But they didn't force me on meds this time, so that was good.
And
That's when everything went worse. A lot worse. So we're at the end of January, going to February, what did I say? After I got back, my 10 days suspension by then was over, so they're like, we're sorry for not letting you. What? Really? In school legally. Joe, you could be giving someone a seizure.
no.
So, okay. They're like, we're sorry for keeping you out of school illegally. Please don't sue us. I'm like, and then I got an idea, like, I might sue them.
You
like,
are. If you don't sue them, I will.
You need money to sue Genius. So, they made me stay in a room at West because they wouldn't let me go back to school yet.
See you.
She saw me once. I was in a room for more than 7 hours because I had, when I got there, in there. And they made me wait till everybody left. Even after the bell rang, technically, they couldn't keep me until then, but I wasn't gonna risk my chance of not going back to West with my friends and boyfriend, so.
Hey.
You're in the friends category.
Oh, Mom. I'm your best friend.
You're my sister.
Best friend.
So, they're like, we want to see your legs out. I'm like, no. And they're like, why not? And I was like, I've had friends, like friends that have got raped there and everything. And like, it's just a bad experience for people. And I'm like, I don't want to. Like, you shouldn't keep restricting me from coming back when you already know I'm safe to be around. They're like, okay, let's make a deal. I'm like, okay. So there was this paper saying, if I'm at Lakeside for more than 45 days, I can sue them. So I started Lakeside. I did my 14th day on last Friday. So I only have 31 more days there till I sue them because they can't keep me technically longer than that. Like, I could technically drop out of Lakeside, but I'm not going to. Lakeside, to me, is vacation because I was raised in schools that give you hard work. Lakeside, you just, like, for math, it would be like 2 + 2. English, write a few sentences. Like, it's not hard. Read a book.
Oh, that mean.
So I'm like, okay. And when I had my meeting, I had a meeting last Wednesday. And I basically told them, so I said I'll do therapy with you guys, which is fine. But I agreed to 1 therapist, not 3, because you have to do therapy at Lakeside. It's forced if you're a student there. And they look down. I'm like, I'm doing my part, but why aren't you guys doing yours? You're supposed to be helping me get back into school.
Do you think they actually care?
No, I don't. I think they won't keep me out. So I also have my citation. They said after I'm done Lakeside, so May 7th around, I have another citation which will determine everything. Like a lot of stuff. Not if I go back to school or not, though. I mean, I guess I could, but, so yeah.
If you don't get to go back to West and I graduate alone, I'm not alone, but without you, I will sue them myself. I'll do more than sue.
Like, the amount of effort. This is all that happened in January and February and now March is because I threatened a girl who's not even supposed to be at school now. Because she was supposed to graduate last year with the rest of them. Like, I understand the precautions, but you're also trying to get rid of me. Like, I know you never liked me and stuff. Like, just say it to my face then. Like, I'm the type of person that's like, rather you be honest and say it to my face than like hold it in for years or something like that. Like, don't lie to me. Just be honest to my face. It's so annoying and stuff. And let's continue with the divorce and stuff. With my parents. My dad lives with his dad. And my grandma, but she's not technically my grandma by birth. So my dad's parents got divorced, and they each got different relationships. So it's my dad's stepmom. She has dementia, so she doesn't remember anything. My grandpa had skin cancer. He got that removed.
I lost track of how many cancers he had.
And my dad just gets
Didn't
really
he just have brain
stressed.
cancer like the other?
No, that was skin cancer.
Mm.
And my mom hasn't even been a year. And she's been seeing other guys, and I know that because I can smell the alcohol in her breath.
She drank 5 times last. She went out and drank 5 times last.
How do you know?
We were here. 'Cause I'm smart.
She drank 5 out of the 7 days. She drank 5 out of the 7 days that were with her the last week we were here. So now.
You actually fucking serious?
So like, and we argued today because my boyfriend's grandmother, who just got surgery 3 months ago for cancer, had to drive pads to my house. Because what? You're too lazy to put in a delivery that you're already ordering anyway? Like, makes sense to me, please. It doesn't make sense. Like, I felt bad. Like, I didn't want to say no because I needed pads, but like, I felt bad that she had to drive. And when I came, I was bike riding around my neighborhood while I waited, so she yelled at me for that and stuff. So I was like, well, my sister's bike, excuse me.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
And she yelled at me saying, don't you ever look at the house again without my permission. You have to ask me. I'm your parent. I can tell you what to do. I'm like, I'm 16, turning 17 in May. You can't tell me everything what to do. Like, I have now
like
more permissions. Less.
You have 0 rights.
I have more rights now.
But
according to her, I have 0 because I can't do anything without her permission.
More rights as a kid.
Yeah. Like, when I was setting up the therapy that this was forcing me to do, she basically told me, I don't care if you're with Dad, I want to know about it. It's about your health. I'm like, okay, cool, but I'm with Dad, so I don't have to tell you anything while I'm with him. Just like you don't have to tell me anything when I'm not with you. And that was a whole different argument. So yeah, she argued, yeah, blah, 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 blah. And she's telling us, stop twisting my words, stop gaslighting me, I'm tired of the disrespect, treat me like your mother. Like,
treat me
like stop. Like, I'm trying to be respectful, but she's making it really hard. Am I supposed to be respectful when you're literally, like, yelling at me every day, not letting me do stuff I want to do? Like, I ask her to go with my boyfriend, and she's like, only if it's here. Like, what do you think we're gonna do? He's not gonna get me pregnant. We're not gonna do sex. So.
Can I have a little? Wait, would that be my niece?
If I had one, but I'm not having one.
Can you have one?
Eventually in the future.
Like, after you turn, like, 20.
Probably. But
I want to be celebrating when I'm 22. with your child.
Thank
22.
you. Okay.
I'm totally not a Swiftie.
Thank you guys if you listen to my story as of now. But that's it for now. That's my sister.